down there, man. Not bad. I love it. Good afternoon. Good day's work today. I've got the initial install for the game plan done. Now, as coaches, we get a chance to look at it, clean it up a little bit. The players will be off tomorrow, and we'll come back in Monday. We'll lift, we'll run, and watch the tape. And we still got a little bit of our team's got some final exams that they'll finish up on Monday, and then everybody will be done with that and full steam ahead on the bowl game. Questions?
With the defensive install, is Coach Rossi able to put his own stamp on it a little bit, and maybe without going into specifics?
I don't know if this is enough time for a coach to put his own stamp on the defense, but Joe is in charge of the defense right now, and I think he's done a good job of trying to put the players in a position to be successful. You get limited time and limited reps to do it, and the players have other things going on like final exams that are really important. So it's not quite like training camp where you have them all day and in the evenings, but I think he's done a good job of putting the game plan together, and now we're going to go take a look at it and clean it up.
Kyle, with as many true freshmen as you have playing at this point, how do you help them avoid any kind of, I don't know, like mental burnout, or because their football season's usually over weeks ago at this point?
I think that's more towards the end of the season than it would be in bowl season if it was going to happen. I think there's almost like a second wind that happens in the bowl season because you get past your academic responsibilities, and that's, I think, what really wears on the younger players going through it for the first time. It's the length of the season, 12 games, 3 bye weeks, and so it's really the longest season we've ever had start to finish. And then on top of that, the academic responsibilities that they have. So I think once we get to the bowl site, or really when we practice here before we go to the bowl site on Tuesday, all the academic responsibilities will be behind them, and I think they'll get a little bit of a second win. So I don't anticipate it being an issue.
With TJ's legal situation being resolved, any final comment on that? Or?
No, I think that the legal system ran its process, and I know TJ released a statement, and we'll stand by that statement.
Just in general, what's it like? You got 105 kids. When you're a parent, you got a couple, but to have to deal with 105 kids, obviously you can't keep tabs on everyone what they're doing. Just what goes into that as far as what you have to impart to them, what you have to trust with them? I
think for us as a program, you have to have a value system, a system of core values that you govern the program by, and we do. Starting with family, trust, belief, accountability, and then the word CHOP. So everything we do in trying to guide the young people comes back to those core values, so that you don't just get caught in a situation where you make a rule for this, you make a rule for that. And I think if you have a governing body of core values and always something that you can come back to that the players are hearing over and over again, it gives you a chance to help grow them up. But it's not just us, it's their parents, it's their extended families, and it's us as a coaching staff all trying to make sure we grow them up the right way.
Kyle, with Notre Dame, now that you're looking at them more, you've already kind of compared the offense to the Patriots. What do you see on defense for Notre Dame?
On defense, they are a 3-4-2 gapping style of defense, much like Alabama is. Much in the same family that it is. They're big and physical up front, even though some of the players that they played with are not with them still. They have others behind them that are very talented players and in the mold, in the same kind of mold. And now they have the same amount of time that we do to try to get their younger players, ready to go. But I would say this: we have a defense that's predicated on speed, and I think Notre Dame's defense runs well. But I think they have predicated their defense on being big and physical and hitting you hard. And when you watch their film, those things jump off the film at you. So it's going to take a physical football team to win that game on the 28th.
Kyle, what does T.J. Jones to bring to Notre Dame's offense? I think he's only the 7th guy in that school's history that's gone over 1,000 yards. I mean, and how much of a focal point, obviously, is he for the defense?
I think they've had some talented backs in their history and have probably played multiple ones, and maybe their style of offense has been such that it has dictated that. But he's a very talented player, and I think it's one of the misunderstood things about the spread offense. When people mention it, they think it's always so pass-oriented. But I've remembered all of Coach Kelly's teams being very committed to running the football, and I don't think this one's any different. It starts for them with the guys up front. Again, very big, very physical. The runs that look like they might be 2 or 3 yards, you watch them on film and all of a sudden they're 4 and 5 yards. And so I think they do a good job pushing the pile, and he's got enough speed with that when he gets loose, he's hard to catch.
Kyle, what about, we talked a couple days ago about Dewani Mara having a breakout season. Is that how you describe Croft's season too? Was it more opportunity? Was it staying healthy? Was it just the right combination, everything coming together for him?
I think Tyler's had a good season. I mean, anytime you're being spoken about as an All-American candidate or on an All-American team, I think you've had an outstanding season. I think Tyler's had that. I think the offensive staff, Coach Prince, has done a good job of putting him in those positions. And you saw certain games where he got the ball quite a bit, and then other games where people really focused on him, which I think is the ultimate compliment on offense, when people try to take you away from the quarterback's progression. So I'm excited about what Tyler's done, and I'm excited about what he can do going forward, and this bowl game will be a good start for him, as he starts to get ready for next year.
During this year,
Two more.
Notre Dame's kind of rotated like 4 or 5 different guys at running back. How do you kind of prepare for the different styles you see? Some guys are a little bit more bruising, other guys a little shiftier. What have you guys thought when you've seen that?
All the runners are unique, but I don't think the way they run the ball differs when they have the different players in. They're primarily an inside zone, one-back power team, and they run a little bit of outside zone. So that's what they are. So that's really what you have to prepare for, and then you got to be ready to use the tackling system when you get there to get them on the ground.
Coach, how do you think the team not only handled the extra bowl practices this week, but also final exams?
I think we've handled it well. During bowl week, you don't overwork the players because they have other responsibilities that they have to be available for. So for us, it was much more about being on the field and trying to develop the players on the field than it was really being in the classroom and the meetings. We left that for the study halls and for them to get ready for their final exams. But I'm pleased with the energy level we had all week, and I'm pleased overall with the focus that we had this week. And now we got a couple guys that still have to finish up some finals, but we really can turn all of our attention starting on Monday morning towards that bowl game, and I think the program's excited about that.